Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sound like we've been playing that for years. That was pretty good, man.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Can you hear me? You can hear me now, I can tell. How are we doing there, Ryan? Good. Welcome. Welcome to Unity San Francisco, and welcome to everybody on Livestream. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I am so delighted to have you here today because we have an incredible service with Deborah Winters here at our new space for the first time. So welcome, Deborah. Welcome to the new home of Unity San Francisco. And I am just catching my breath. It's been a busy weekend and a busy morning. Knowing that we can do that at any time is one of the Unity teachings. In a second of meditation and prayer, we can reset what is and step into the infinite possibility. Step in to a greater reality. Letting go of lack and limitation, we can move wholly into the truth of who we are. So we're going to do that with music, which always helps me, and we're going to do it with prayer. And I invite Misa up. Our band is going to join us, and I invite you to let this vibration change you, to let this vibration open you, and to let these words soothe you. light all the time, expressing, shining, being who we are meant to be. When we let our light out, when we let our light shine, we obliterate the shadow, the darkness, the fear, the pain. In this moment, breathe. Breathe into those centers of your being, of your body, as you feel tight and constricted, where you feel protected and guarded. Breathe into those places of your mind that seem cloudy. And let the light of your true nature illuminate those dark spots. Clear out the doubt and illuminate your true self. This is the day. This is the day for you to be who you are truly meant to be. This is the day for you to shine. This is the day. So we rejoice. So we choose, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the diagnosis, no matter what the situation, we are here. An infinite possibility exists before us, around us, and within us. And for that, we rejoice and give thanks. And so it is. Amen. Well, come on in. I see everybody piled up at the door. Come on in and find a spot. We have a bunch of new people here and a bunch of old friends here today that we're going to make an incredible service with. As I mentioned, we have Deborah Winters in the house with us today. And our incredible band, Michael and Mark and Nathaniel. Yes. And we have you. So thank you for making this a priority on your Sunday morning. And thank you for sharing your light with us today. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Reverend Ken Daigle, and I have the honor of being the senior minister here. And now I'm going to invite up my associate minister and good friend, Deanne Weir-Morency, to lead us through a couple announcements. Thanks, sweetie.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. For those who were here yesterday, it was a phenomenal celebration, so thank you all who showed up. And yeah, we are a vibrant community, aren't we? It's 6 years ago now, as a community, I know, wow, as a community came together and to decide, because that's very integral to who we are in Unity teachings, that we choose what we are activating as our life. And so we came together as a community and we chose what our vision statement was going to be. And that vision statement is that we are a vibrant spiritual community honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. And we get to step into that in so many ways. In a moment, I'm going to go through some of the ways that you get to participate if you want to join in for classes and all the rest of it. But this right here, coming together and anchoring on Sundays is, for me, I know how I stay nourished and I stay fed. Because I'll tell you, it's been a ride, hasn't it? As we've moved into this new space. Whew. And I know that I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, change is up right now, right? Change is up. And it's in those moments that we want to remember our vision statement. We want to remember where we are moving towards, always showing up to facilitate that more fully. So can we know this vision statement together? Can we read this together with feeling? Because I know it's still early, but with feeling. All right, together. We are a vibrant spiritual community, honoring the divine presence in all and radiating the unity message through loving service. Ooh, I got God bumps, you guys. That was awesome. Yeah. So if you want to know how you can help to continue to activate that within yourself, we have a wonderful opportunity with our own Misa Malone. So we have the Sounds of Unity workshop. So this is if you want to become part of Sounds of Unity, this workshop is something that you absolutely want to attend. But if you're just interested in maybe figuring out some vocal techniques, if you're interested in just learning some breath techniques, if you're interested, if you're just a public speaker, or if you want to be more comfortable being a public speaker, or if you want to line and attune your voice, we're big on that in Unity as well. What is your authentic voice? Then this workshop is also for you. So it's going to be Saturday, October 26th from 11 to 3 p.m. You can sign up online or in the community hall downstairs during hospitality. Dios de los Muertos. So our very own Reverend Elizabeth does this beautiful, beautiful remembering every year on October 31st. So we are going to have a special altar that we are going to start creating next Sunday. And we invite you to bring in pictures of your loved ones who have passed away, those who you would like to remember. I know personally I'm bringing in my little boy, Freeway, who made his transition, my cat, it still makes me cry. So those who speak to your heart, those who are no longer here, the invitation is to bring photos of them. We're going to have a beautiful altar up here on the platform, and then Reverend Elizabeth is going to be leading a beautiful, beautiful ceremony on Thursday, October 31st. It's powerful and it's lovely. It's not to be missed. Foundations of Unity. So our very own Reverend Dave Cooperberg. Look at that. I'm elevating you. I'm speaking it into existence, maybe. He is a licensed Unity teacher at the moment, but we hold infinite potential for him. He is going to be teaching foundational teachings of Unity. So if you're new to Unity, or if you feel like you want to get that rock solid understanding a little bit more firm underneath your feet, these are two foundational books. So Lessons in Truth by Emily Cady, and then Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. Both of these books are transformative. So this class is going to start on Sundays, November 3rd, after service from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Sign-up sheets are downstairs in the community hall. And now I'm going to invite you to pull out your program. If you don't have a program yet, just raise your hand and our ushers will get them to you. If you are live streaming, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad to have you with us today. If you are watching on our website, unitysanfrancisco.com, you will see that there is a button underneath the images for you to also be able to fill out a spiritual connection card. So what I'd like you to do is to tear off this piece right here. We love to fill the sanctuary with the sounds of the tearing. And then just fill out the front of it right now with your name, address. If you're a first-time guest, we'd love to know how you heard about us. If you have some updated information that you'd like us to know, please do put that down here for us. We will get to the back of the spiritual connection card later on during service, but please do fill out the front. And if you are a first-time guest, we have a gift for you right there in the lobby, right outside this door. Please help yourself. You can also come speak to Reverend Ken or myself. We're just so glad that you decided to come and join us this Sunday morning. And now I'd like everyone to rise as they're willing and able for our community song, Down in My Soul. I'm going to invite Misa and Deborah up.
I hear the music, I hear the music, down in my soul, down in my soul. I hear the music, I hear the music, down in my soul, down in my soul. I hear the music, I hear the music, down in a new day. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. I love the silence. I love the silence. Down in my soul. Down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. My home.
I invite you to stay standing and to greet each other with a handshake or a hug. Happy Sunday, everybody. Woo! Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is, if you haven't had a chance to greet everybody yet, I promise there's more time and hospitality downstairs. So I'm sure we have hospitality downstairs because the leftovers from the party from
That's
yesterday.
right. We got yummy leftovers.
Great leftovers from yesterday. And say hi, Roma. Say hi, everybody. Roma's in the house. Yeah, now she's shy.
I was going to say.
Now. So we also have this announcement we want to talk to you about on Wednesday, October 23rd. Not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. We are saying goodbye to Bush Street. So for those of you who don't know, Bush Street was our home for 25 years, and our lease back ends on the 31st. So with the event here on the 31st, this is the Wednesday night to do a little goodbye ritual and thank it for the years of service to our community and being our spiritual home for so long, and what it has
And what a gift
it has brought us, right? Location. So join us for that. It'll be 7 o'clock. It is going to be totally unplugged, no live stream.
There's clearly no chairs there.
There's no
either,
chairs.
So wear comfortable
So
shoes.
we're gonna have a acoustic experience at Bush Street. Yeah, and to say goodbye and thank you.
And to
So,
bless the space
so-
for its next incarnation.
Yeah. So, and bless the new owners. Yay. So, we thank them and thank you and join us for that. Now I'm going to invite Noel up to read the Daily Word, and Roma, I'm going to send you back to
The daily word is a daily reflection which has been part of unity for 100 years. Take a deep breath and pause. Close your eyes, if you wish, as we anchor our awareness of divine truth. We invite you to let these words become your words. Today's daily word is new habits. I commit to higher expressions of speech, thought, and action. Aristotle taught, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. To be the best expression of the Christ that I can be, I revisit my behaviors and routines. Where needed, I replace unhealthy habits with life-affirming ones. If I find that I regularly complain, I make a concerted effort to express gratitude. If I have lapsed into mindless routines such as snacking or binge-watching television, I insert a new activity into that time slot, such as walking, reading, praying, or meditating. As I consciously replace ineffective habits with more constructive ones, I feel happier, more peaceful, and energetic, more like my true self each day. Please know this affirmation with me. I commit to a higher expression of speech, thought, and action. Please repeat that. I commit to higher expressions of speech, thought, and actions. And so it is.
It's like the air around me. It's like sunlight on my face. I feel the love of God surround me, and I am touched by amazing grace. And all I ever wanted, all I ever needed was already there, closer than the sunlight and nearer than the air. And I breathe in a simple prayer of thank you. And I am filled with the Spirit. It is peace to my mind. It is joy to my soul. And I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song I've been singing all along. I've been singing everywhere. It is nearer than the air. It's like the air around you. It's like the sunlight on your face. To feel the love of God surround you and be touched by amazing grace. all we ever wanted and all we ever needed was already there. Oh, closer than the sunrise and nearer than the air. And I breathe in, and I am filled with the Spirit. It is health to my body, it is peace to my mind, it is joy to my soul, and I breathe out a simple prayer of thank you. And my breath becomes a song I've been singing all along. I've been singing every day. It is nearer than the
Cheers. Thank you, sweetheart. It is wonderful to have you back. Week before last, I was on a week at a spiritual renewal, a conference at Unity Village in Missouri. And it was a wonderful experience filled with great thinkers and speakers and ministers from all over the country and from many New Thought traditions. It was very integrated and open and alive. And the first speaker was Michael Gott, who wrote the song you're going to sing later. And he wrote this one too? Oh my God, no, this one. He wrote this one, sorry. So Michael Gott just wrote that song. He was the keynote speaker that opened the conference, and it was really powerful, right? And I love him, and he's a great talent, and he was telling a story that opened my heart. And then the next speaker got up and was doing a meditation, and a beautiful meditation. He was wearing these beautiful beads. He was wearing these rose quartz beads around his neck. Right? Not as clunky as the ones on your screen, but beautiful little ones. And I was talking about the properties of the quartz and what the quartz does. And I noticed myself tighten. And he went on and talking about how this necklace that he was wearing was gifted to him. It was gifted to him by a friend and told that at the right moment you will pass this on. And it saw him through a very difficult time of the death of his mother. And when the time came to pass on the quartz, he just couldn't. He couldn't pass on the quartz. And eventually what he did was bought himself another pair to give away so he could keep the ones he was wearing. But the reason he was told to give them away is that he wanted to plant them all over the planet, so that when he meditated, that the quartz crystals would come alive and spread healing to the planet. And I noticed myself tighten again. And it was a very, very surprising reaction as I was watching my body do this. And I was really curious. Because there I had voluntarily gone to this conference. I was really excited to be there. And this man was leading us in this beautiful meditation about these quartz crystals. And my intellect was shutting down my heart. And I was watching it in real time. I was watching how I knew that the quartz isn't doing anything, right? That what it was the intention of the quartz and the intention of the people holding the quartz were really what was doing anything, and that the quartz were just a rock. And I was getting upset in a meditation. And I was like, and I couldn't stop myself. And I was astonished. And they handed out these little tiny quartz crystals that we were all holding, and we had to hold for the meditation. And I wanted to crush this sucker. And I was astonished that I was in the way of my own good. The man stood up there and said, the quartz itself is not doing anything. It is our intention for it. The quartz is just connected to us, and what we set our intention to is what's happening in the world. And yet I saw myself for all those years of being taught to be skeptical, being taught that intellect was a good thing, and think your way through this. Don't buy the snake oil can. Don't listen to people who will sell you down the river. It's taking over my experience of the moment, and I knew I had to break the habit of being myself. That if I wanted to have a better experience, a more expansive experience, and a better life, right, that I had to stop doing the things that got me to this point. And then if I didn't stop, the mind, the thought, the belief processes that had gotten me to here, I would never know what lies on the other side of this veil, the other side of this illusion that I think is you and me and this world. And I so want that. I don't know about you, but there are things in my life and in the world that I am desperately unhappy with. Desperately unhappy with how things are shaking out, with how people are treated, the wars, how we treat each other in this country, how we treat people coming to this country, how the homeless situation in California is at the moment, how my own personal life is, where I feel overwhelmed and underwater and constantly behind and constantly not good enough, has to shift. And for that to happen, I have to break the habit of being all those things that created that. And in that moment, right there, in that meditation at Unity Village, I realized, there's my talk. And I realized that the quantum truth is that both are happening, that the rock is not separate from us, and that it is activated all around the world when we do. So I've been reading this book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. If you haven't read it, I recommend it highly. And we will do a class on it eventually. Not right now. That's another breaking the habit of being myself. But I want to talk to some of the things that just have been sparking me in it, and what has allowed me to shift. Because I know you're here too, because you want something different in your life. And being different, taking the habit of being ourselves, the things that we think have created our personality, the situations, the people, the opportunities that have shifted and made us who we are, we think it's immutable. But it's not when we look at it. So in the quantum field, we know from science now that there is infinite possibility in every moment, right? Every moment has infinite possibilities in it, and it does not decide what it's going to be until it's observed. Observed, right? So in unity, we might talk of this in more Newtonian or like Descartes theology, because that's when we started. In the 1880s, when unity was founded, there was no quantum physics. It was Newtonian physics. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you set your mind to do something, if you set your thought to do something, this is the result. Like it's a mathematical equation that's going on. But in quantum, we know that's not true. That anything is possible and everything is possible in time and space because there is no time and space. That our thoughts today can affect the past. And there's scientific proof that proves that. When we take the conclusions and the experiences and the recorded data from the quantum experiments and really apply it, everything we think we know gets blown up. Everything we think is solid melts. And in unity, we might think of this as thought. I think, therefore I am. Or I think, and this is what the result is. But in breaking the habit of being ourselves, we look at it as thought, but gets action. Right? So we have a thought, and we take action on it. And that action creates our being. So that our thoughts are forming the reality of who we are because we're creating it in real time, right here and right now. When we change the thought, that shifts the action. Who we are and how we experience our lives absolutely shifts. Because in the quantum you, there is no fixed place. Listen to that. In the quantum you, there is no fixed place. That gives you new understanding of what it means when I say you are not your diagnosis. That is the past, and we can shift the past right here and right now. You are not your gender. It's just one chromosome, and we've seen experiments where people holding DNA in a test tube can shift the strands of DNA. Shift them just with the power of their thoughts. These are quantified experiments in the world today. And when we really look at it, everything changes. So hold on to your hats, because if we were brave enough, if I were brave enough, and we'd let go of thinking that this little piece of quartz can affect the world and let it affect the world. Empower it to affect the world. And to let go of my diagnosis and my seeming limitations to live the life I'm truly here to live, right? The quantum you is beyond time and space. The quantum you exists across the dimension. And it's actually that your physical body is organized by patterns of energy and information, and it is unified with everything in the quantum field, because you are the observer. You are the observer of your life. And the observer, as we know, affects what is being observed. So when you judge yourself, you are setting yourself into a stone. But you can change your mind. You can shift it and watch that stone turn to water, to air, to gas. Watch as that stone becomes porous. Quantum you has no limitations. It has no place to go but within. And choose. In the quantum world, a particle cannot manifest in reality. Right? So what I mean by reality, and what we're talking about in reality, is what is known as time and space. So the particles exist, but they exist in this infinite field of possibility until we look at them and choose. That's going to be Alan. He was born, da-da-da-da, he lives right here, this is what he did, he's retired, but he writes books, and da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, and that's the story. But Alan is much more than that story of who Alan is, right? Exists in the field of reality only when we observe it. And until we observe it, it doesn't exist in time and space. And I know that is really hard to wrap our minds around because we're taught that we all have independent existences, right? And that our parents created us, our birth parents or our adopted parents, and brought us to this world, and we share their DNA, and we share their proclivities, and we share their habits that they taught us and the ones we inherited, and our experience, our limitations, our worries, and our fears. Oh, my grandmother had breast cancer, and my mother had dementia, and my father was, schizophrenia ran in his family. And those become our identities. Those become our observations of our reality. What would you be if you weren't limited by that? If you weren't limited to the observation? Because what happens is we link ourselves to a past we never wanted to be part of. But we were chained to it, and it becomes this shackle around us. It becomes this shackle that keeps us to this planet, keeps us limited, keeps us structured, but often in pain, often in hurt, often safe. We chain up our animals sometimes to keep them safe. We chain up our children to keep them safe. And then we become adults and find that we have never broken free from these chains. But in the quantum field, there's what's known as quantum entanglement. And here's the great paradox about this. In quantum entanglement, when something is synced and linked together, it can be separated by millions of miles. It can be separated by time, and yet it remains linked. It remains linked. If they take an electron that is linked with another electron in the quantum experiments, and it is spinning in one direction, as they change the direction of one electron, the other one halfway around the world will also change its direction of rotation, even though they are physically divided. When we connect to something, when two particles connect in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, in our experience, they can become forever linked. Forever linked. Ever had the experience where you know that someone you love is in trouble? That they are looking for you and you just know it? There's no phone call, there's no other experience. Well, that Ken that was sitting in that meditation didn't want to believe that was true. There's got to be some other explanation for this. But if the quantum field, if the scientifically proven quantum field is true, that we are connected, then yes, we are connected despite time, despite what we believe is death, despite what we believe is separation in the physical realm. Space and time don't exist in the quantum field because in quantum understanding, these electrons which rotate and run around, rotate around a nucleus of an atom, only exist in this form when we observe it. Before that, there are these field of electrons, all in infinite possibility, and they don't stop in one place in time until a scientist or one of us look at it. Until then, it is in infinite possibility. We live, then, in infinite possibility, but we are constantly choosing how those electrons are going to show up. If you want a new outcome, you have to stop being yourself. Right? If you want a new outcome, listen to this, You have to stop being yourself, because you are going to create the exact same outcome over and over again. It's easy to see it in our friends and family, isn't it? I can watch my son and know exactly what's going to happen. Not that son, but the 21-year-old. I can know exactly the pattern that is about to unfold. And then I have to catch myself going, oh, I am limiting his quantum field. But it's easier to see in other people. That moment of meditation, that moment of understanding at Unity Village, that I was limiting my experience, my possibility, because my intellect was telling me that this little stone, this little pink heart, couldn't possibly affect the planet, couldn't possibly change reality. When I also know in reality that of course it can. It just takes a single molecule to change anything. A thought is just energy. Energy. And what I want to ignite in this, and what I want this to represent, can be the change that the world needs. So if we want to let go of what we already have, if we want a new and better microphone. It's actually not the microphone, it's the tape. I want the tape back. Or a new and better microphone. If we want a new and better world, we have to break the habit of being who we are. Are we willing to do that? Are we willing to let go of, they're not good enough, I'm not good enough? It's always going to be that way. It's always going to suffer. It's always going to be hard. Better get used to it. It's always going to be hard. You notice that people are never cheerful when they tell you that, right? It's always going to be hard. Is that the truth? Is that the truth? Really? Seriously? Are you willing today to let go of the belief that it always has to be hard? Are you willing to let go of the belief that it always has to be that way? Whatever that way is. Are you willing to let go of the belief that you are set? This is my personality. This is who I am. This is the way I operate in the world. Are you willing to let go of that? Yeah. Well, then our ushers have little pink stones for you. And they're going to pass them out right now. I need some help with the ushers to make sure everybody gets a pink quartz crystal. And we are going on a meditation together that is going to change the planet. Okay? So here they come, spreading down the street. And as our music team gets into place, we're going to sing our song and do our meditation. All right? So does everybody have a pink crystal? Does our band have one too? Because we need the band to be different too, right? Where everybody in the room is going to go on this journey, right? Yeah. One of the things, as Michael's going to vamp on this, and one of the things that I've learned from this book, or relearned from this book, and learned it a new way, is that it's not enough to think a new thought. It's that your heart has to be attached to it. Because we've all had the experience of saying the affirmations and thinking the thought and watching nothing happen in the physical world. It's because we're not in coherence. Our heart doesn't believe it. Our heart's not in the process. So I've chosen this song today, and this shape has chosen me to remind me that I've got to be all in on the change.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
In this moment, in this place, we hold this rose quartz heart. We remember the truth of who we are, infinite in potential, unlimited in nature. We exist infinitely before this incarnation and after it. For there is no time other than we choose it. Everyone who has preceded us resides right here in our heart and in this space with us. So I invite you to hold this heart in your hands or place it next to your heart and to feel the atoms in it. Inside the nucleus of each atom is more space than there is in space. It may feel solid, but we know scientifically that mostly it's air. Mostly it's infinite possibility. And we experience it as this solid, immovable form. So we open our hearts again to see it differently, to experience it differently, and to notice that as we do, that the electrons are spinning in a pattern that matches our heart pattern. That our heart is now in sync, in tune, and aligned with this heart. And that it holds for us infinite possibility, infinite healing, infinite scope. It holds for us love. Love that heals. Love that sets us free. Sets us free from what we think we are. Sets us free from the past. The past that we feel was done to us, and the past that we have done to ourselves. Free from lack and limitation, free from disease and despair, free from blame and judgment, free to be who we are really meant to be, the infinite light and source and supply of God, of the divine here on earth. This heart glowing with understanding and knowing is one with your heart and holds within it infinite potential. I now invite us to sit in the silence as we imagine and affirm that each one of these rose hearts planted around the globe is now radiating with us, healing us and the planet. Feel it. Touch it. Release it. And shift who you think you are. Break the habit of being limited. And join us in knowing the truth. There is only love.
When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
And so it is.
Michael, can you keep some music going? So now it's time for our spiritual practices. If you remember, it's on the back side of your spiritual connection card. If you are live streaming with us on our website, there's a button that says spiritual practices for this week. And so the options that we have here connected into the Talk Directly are to break the habit of being yourself. I like that one personally. We have accept the responsibility for my life. We have see the field of infinite possibility. And finally, consciously create my world. You can also write in anything that seems to resonate for you in this field. Feel free to put any comments or any prayer requests. Reverend Ken and myself hold these in the prayer field throughout the week. We love to hear what is up for you, how we can support you, anchoring that field of infinite potential. And we're going to move into our time of giving and receiving right now. And if you notice, in the chairs in front of you, we have new envelopes, everybody. Yeah, so it's very exciting. They have our new address on them, and, right? And the big addition that we have on here is our text to donate. So you can now text to donate to Unity San Francisco. You text Unity SF to the number 44321. And you just follow the link that they give you. Once you enter in your information for the first time, you can choose to save it, so it's really easy to make donations going forward after that. It's a very easy way for you to be able to give to Unity San Francisco. You, of course, can always go to our website. If you are live streaming with us, you'll notice that there is a button that you can push, which will it won't take you away from the service. It'll open a separate window in PayPal, and you can make a donation there. And you can, of course, also just use this envelope. So please print clearly if you are using the envelope. There is a way for you to make your donation a recurring donation. For those of you who do auto tithe, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really is sort of a powerful way for us to be able to budget throughout the year. If you do auto tithe, in the seats in front of you, there are these really cute, adorable little auto tithe dollars. So as the basket goes around, you can put this in as your donation for today. So in the spirit of giving and receiving, as we step into this piece, We had a fabulous fundraiser yesterday with a live auction that it appears with some rough numbers that the live auction raised over $8,000. So thank you to everyone who participated in that and who donated items that were up for the auction. We couldn't do it without each other, right? We also have a silent auction going on downstairs that will run through November 10th. So there are some fabulous things. There's a trip to Palm Springs during Modernism Week. There's a Union Street experience. There's the Joe Malone, the fabulous perfumery, has this, I know it says girlfriend party, but we can open that up. We can open that up in this community. Which is a champagne party, and like it just seems like so much fun if you want to find out what your personal scent might be. You can also, the one I think I'm going for, folks, just so you know, is the create your own gelato experience. Right? Where you get to bring 8 friends and you get to create your own ice cream. I mean, I just think it's so much fun with the fabulously weird flavors like fig basil and stuff like that. That just seems like so much fun to me. There's a Fitness San Francisco with a personal trainer, 3 months. And there's also some autographed books on the silent auction by our very own Alan Klein, who is so much more than just that. So there's lots of ways that you can support Unity San Francisco. We are also in the midst of, as you look around, you can see that the windows are out, on their way out, and they are in the midst of being restored and reimagined because we are breaking the habit of being ourselves. And in the process, to date, we have $90,000 pledged in our Building Legacy campaign towards the redoing of the windows. So if you are interested in being part of the Building Legacy campaign, please talk to Ken or myself or any of the board members. Raise your hand so you can talk to any of the board members. There's a whole team set up for it, but there's lots of ways that you can support Unity San Francisco. So we have an offering affirmation that we do. I'm going to say it once, and I'll invite you to say it after me, please holding your offering. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. That joy part is so important, isn't it? Let's know this together, please. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I joyously give and receive. And so it is. You can put your connection cards in the basket too.
We move too fast. We miss so much. We seldom see all the miracles in front of us. A warm embrace, a human touch, and so it goes. I race around, search high and low for a truth I used to know, when there was magic to be found. 'Cause finding Wonderland is taking time to see. The child within has always been there, smiling back at me. So when I close my eyes, I just remember, and I can't help finding Wonderland. It's not too late. Here now it's time. Hearts can unbreak in this life story's nick of time. happy ending, a perfect rhyme. 'Cause finding Wonderland is finding who you are. The child within has always been there, like a shining star. So when I close my eyes, I see forever, and I can't help finding Wonderland. Ordinary magic happens every single day, and Wonderland is never far away. 'Cause finding Wonderland is going home again, to feel the love another gives, and giving back. And then if you should lose your way, just reach out for someone's hand, and you'll be finding Wonderland. You'll be finding Wonderland.
Deborah Winters, everyone.
Deborah
Michael
Winters.
Grossman, Mark Baum, Nathaniel Welsh.
Yay!
It's time for the children.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Woo! Hey, sweetie, how are you? JD filled in for children's program today.
We had a long planned lesson for today that had a lot of deep thought that went into it. We were up here for sermon, as all of you heard, and then we went downstairs, and Roma took her little heart. And what did you draw? Can you tell them what you drew?
No.
Want me to tell them? Okay. And she did a meditation drawing on hearts. And so this is a Band-Aid up here with hearts on it. And this is hearts and circles. And we enjoyed being a part of the adult service for a while and a part of our own service for a while.
Yay! 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 Let's clap on that. Yeah! Yeah! You want to clap? Yeah! Yes! So we have a blessing for our children and a blessing for ourselves, understanding that quantum field. You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. Nothing to change. Everything in possibility. Can we know that together? You are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. So it is. Yay! Yay! Thank you to everybody who made today's service and this whole weekend possible.
Yes.
So we have our ushers and greeters, we have our staff, we have our music team, we have our prayer chaplains. So if you want to pray with the prayer chaplain after service, they'll be here in the prayer chaplain corner. We also have Reverend Elizabeth, who serves as the prayer chaplain and leads our meditation, which now happens up here before service. So when you walk into this sanctuary, to this room now, it has been blessed by a beautiful hour of vibrational meditation. That's my microphone, yes. Yes. You're perfect. Don't change. And thank you. And so thank you, Elizabeth, for all that you do. And if you have something on your heart, want help in breaking the habit of being yourself, our prayer chaplains are the perfect people to be with today. And let's get that started. This week has also been a hard one for us because Deanne and I spent Tuesday with Tom's family as Tom Gallegos passed away on Monday night. He was a longtime member here, 25 years.
1996.
Yeah, and quite a beautiful light. I remember when we were discerning whether to buy a new place. We hadn't even, I think at this point, found this one.
No.
And we were having a town hall meeting about it, and we had gotten an offer on Bush Street, and he said, I think we should spend every penny and get the best building we can possibly get. And it carried such weight because of all of his years of service. He wasn't here a short period, right? It was his spiritual home. And he was excited and glad that he had been in the building and been part of us here. So we have a service today at 1:30. His family's coming, and we're going to honor his life and celebrate it in a special way. We invite all of you to join us for that. Yeah. So Reverend Ian's class, Making the Most Out of Change, was going to be in that time, so that has to be canceled today. So
The class will be 4 sessions total. Okay. We're still going to end on time because Dave Cooperberg's class is scheduled to begin on November 3rd.
Yeah. And then Farewell to Bush Street, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, and Sounds of Unity workshop, Sounds of Unity, music workshop on the 26th. So I invite you to stand as you're willing and able and join us in our closing song, True Colors. Now it's time for our transformational affirmations. I'll say these statements once and I invite you to affirm them after me. I am willing to break the habit of being myself.
I am willing to break the habit of being myself.
I am willing to live in infinite possibility.
I am willing to live in infinite possibility.
I accept responsibility for my life.
I accept responsibility for my life.
I am a quantum creator.
I am a quantum creator.
I see my true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So we're not afraid to let them show our true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
And so it is.
And so it is. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday.